Hey everybody, Luigi Fan Quad 1 here once again, and today we're ranking every single Sonic plush in my Sonic plush collection. Let's go! We're going to start things off with the Toy Network Sonic plush, and to say that this plush has been treated kindly would be a lie. This plush is very gangly, very scrawny, and compared to the actual Sonic, looks kind of malnourished, honestly. The only reason I use this Sonic in my videos is because this is the one I've had since I was like, what, 9, 10, around there. I like the plush personally, but in this type of video, I can't judge him based off of pure bias alone. Other factors have to play a role, such as how they look compared to their in-game counterpart, if the plush design actually looks, good, and in general if I like the character. I do like Sonic, but this plush ain't it. D. Next is this Tails the Fox plush by Jazzwares, and unlike Sonic, this one actually looks really good. I love how the plush itself is actually the same height as both Sonic and Knuckles, which is an issue I find with Tails plushies. They always seem to be a little too small compared to their Sonic and Knuckles counterparts, but this one definitely delivers. Also love the little detail on the shoes, and in general, I just think he looks neat. I just wish Tails was more of a badass like he was back in Sonic Adventure 2. A tier. Next is the Sonic X Knuckles plush from Great Eastern Entertainment, made to coincide with the release of the Sonic X anime. And I gotta say, this plush is probably the definitive Knuckles plush. He just looks really good. Love the detail on the shoes, his face looks good, his proportions look alright. I have nothing bad to say about this dude, it's just Knuckles. It would be a crime if I rated him any lower than S. Next is the Sane Amy Rose plush. Just like with Knuckles, this is the definitive Amy Rose. This plush has become hard to find in recent years. No real complaints, shoes look perfect, face looks perfect, outfit looks good, no real issues, just solid across the board. Wish she came with a hammer, but what can you do? S tier. Continuing on with the rest of the good guys, we've got Charmy Bee. This plush comes to us from Great Eastern Entertainment and looks, good. I really like the plastic material they used for the wings. Really makes him stand out. And the same material is used for the goggles on top of his head. When it comes to plush with these kinds of eyes, these painted on acrylic eyes as opposed to embroidered ones, they're fine, but I prefer the eyes to be embroidered. Plastic material like this on plush can wither away with time, but the ones by Great Eastern Entertainment are normally pretty high quality and are not like the ones seen from, say, 2005 or so when they would fall apart. This material holds up better. For now though, Charmy gets an A. Next of the Chaotix is Espio the Chameleon. Gotta say, he looks fairly solid across the board. Really like the style they use for his gloves and for his shoes. His shoes are a little clunky, but otherwise I'd say he looks, good. Espio is our first B tier. Next is
Find the computer room!
Vector the Crocodile, the leader of the Chaotix, and my personal favorite of Team Chaotix as well. I love how his hand here is shaped in a pointing position, so that way he can be like, aha! Or he can also be pondering a certain situation. The only issue I have with the plush is the tail. In my hand it looks okay, but if you try to sit him on a flat surface, he'll tend to tip over. You can adjust him, sure, but for the most part he's going to keep kissing the ground, and I don't know why. On the one hand, I'm not a fan of how he falls, but on the other hand, I do like the pose with his hand, and his design looks really good. B. Next is Cream the Rabbit from Great Eastern Entertainment. Compared to Charmy, her eyes use a different acrylic, and she also has little dots on her gloves. Fairly simple looking plush, but otherwise, good. A tier. Next is Silver the Hedgehog by Jazzwares. Fairly nice looking plush for the most part, definitely better than the one by Kelly Toy. I like the detail on his shoes, but his face is a little scrunched for my liking. Otherwise, he looks, good. B tier. Next is Blaze the Cat by Setsunaku. A nice looking custom, that's the reason I got the plush in the first place. She has a unique material for the eyes here, being made out of paper instead of being made of plastic, embroidered, or using vinyl acrylic. She also has these little toy jewels on her hairband and on her forehead. And she also has this nice leather acrylic for her shoes, which can chip away with time, unfortunately. But Blaze here has stood the test of time and looks fairly nice. A tier. Next is Big the Cat from Toy Network. Unlike, say, Sonic, Shadow, Tails, or Knuckles, I actually really like the plush of Big from Toy Network. He looks so stupid, and that's kind of the point of Big, to be honest. He's silly, he's dumb, but he's got a good heart. I also really like how they included Big's fishing pole, too. I don't know what to say about the paint, though, all over his body. It's definitely a stylistic choice, but can't say I'm the biggest fan. I'm also not a fan of the material used for the belt, as it has been chipped away with time. As seen here. I don't know, it looks so derpy, it actually kind of works. C. C for cat. Next is the... Oh no, it's the Cal Toy Classic Sonic plush. On my channel, Classic Sonic is one of the most notorious and infamous pests. He's very annoying, and not many people like him. But in terms of plush, I gotta give Classic Sonic his flowers. The The plush looks really good. My only complaint are the plastic eyes. I'm not the biggest fan of plastic eyes on plush. If you were to say drop the plush and the plush were to get scratched, then congratulations, Tommy, your plush is damaged. But otherwise, he looks good. He looks really good. He's firm, he's got nice material across the board, and he's good. No complaints. Just take your A tier before I change my mind. Morin! Also part of the Chaotix, here is Mighty the Armadillo from Great Eastern Entertainment. Mighty here looks fine. No real complaints about him, aside from his hand that's stuck to his head. Other than that, he looks, simple. Simple's a good word to define Mighty, but otherwise he looks fine. Again, fine. No real issues with him, just kind of middle of the road. B. Here is Mighty's buddy, that being Ray the Flying Squirrel. I like the material for Ray's patagia under his arm, to really give the indication that he is indeed a flying squirrel. Otherwise, like Mighty, he's very simple in design and looks good. No real complaints, just middle of the road, B tier. Here is the Great Eastern Entertainment Supersonic plush. As opposed to the old Supersonic we had from Kelly Toy, we traded that one in for this plush, and I gotta say this one looks really good. The color is actually correct, unlike the old Supersonic plush, and in general I think he looks very definitive. He looks like he's ready to throw down or make someone lose all 3 of their stocks in a Smash Brothers match. S tier. Here's a new character on the roster. We have Whisper the Wolf, part of the Sonic comic collection from Great Eastern Entertainment. Whisper the Wolf was first seen in the Sonic IDW comics, before finally making her way into Sonic Racing Cross Worlds as one of the first ever comic characters from the Sonic series to be seen in a game. I think Whisper's design is fine, but her hands and her feet are huge, especially when you compare her to other plush. And her body's a lot smaller than theirs too. C. Can't have one without the other, so here is Tangle the Lemur. Like with Mighty, her hand and tail are stitched to a part of her body. Her tail is stitched to her ear, her hand is stitched to her tail. Long, Waluigi lanky legs, hands aren't as big, but her feet certainly are, and they used this printed-on design for her shoes, as opposed to others like Ray who use embroidered fabric. I'm not knocking Tangle down any points for it because her design still looks good. They did a good job with the material, I just wish they could have embroidered it instead. On the one hand, Tangle deserves a B tier, but on the other hand, I don't want her to be separated from Whisper, so C. Here is the Sonic X Great Eastern Entertainment Sonic plush. I wanted to actually incorporate this Sonic as the new and improved Sonic the Hedgehog. However, the old Sonic plush is in too many videos and I want to keep things consistent. Overall though, like with Knuckles, this is a definitive Sonic plush. Love that expression he's got. And overall his design looks really good. I don't have any complaints to say about him. He just looks good. S tier. We got through the good guys, now for the gray area. Starting off with Shadow the Hedgehog. This Shadow comes to us from Toy Network, and the Shadow plush here looks fine-ish, I guess. I just love how the plush just stares directly into your soul. And his shoes have definitely not held up well with time. It is an older plush from an older time period, but look at Nigel Thornberry from 2003. He looks really good for his time. Shadow, on the other hand, not so much. I am aware this plush was released in grabber machines, but we've also had grabber machine plush like Fredburger, so where's the excuse there? D tier. Next is the Great Eastern Entertainment Rouge the Bat. Gotta say, this plush looks absolutely perfect, and every single detail of the plush was captured perfectly. Before we had this plush, Rouge plush were relatively scarce. We had the Sonic Project Sonic X Rouge plush, and we had the Toy Network Rouge plush, and the less said about that one, the better. This one, though, looks absolutely perfect. Same material used for the eyes as with other plush in the Great Eastern lineup. Love the detail on the boots, love the detail on her gloves, her body, her face, and I really like the design for the wings. Sure, the wings are stitched to her ears, but I think they actually look better this way because it makes them stand out more. Flying into the freedom, Rouge flying straight into S tier. Next is E123 Omega, and it's about time he got an official plush. For years we've had to use custom plush for Omega. This plush looks perfect. It actually looks like Omega came right out of Sonic Heroes. His details look really good. And yes, they used printed designs for Omega as well, but they actually look better on this plush. They make the plush pop out more and gives him a more robotic and metallic look. Just think he looks really good. You know where you're going.
Targets acquired.
Speaking of the E-Series, here is E102 Gamma. Gamma also looks really good. Doesn't pop out as well as Omega, but that's to be expected, since Omega is a later E-Series robot as opposed to Gamma. Like with Rouge though, this was the first accessible Gamma plush that we had seen in some time. The other Gamma plush was released way back in the day and did not look very good, and time does not treat the old Gamma plush very well, as opposed to this Gamma plush, which looks absolutely perfect. I also love the little wheels on the back of this Gamma. They look so dinky, but I can't help but love them. S tier. Speaking of Sonic Adventure, here is Chaos Zero from Great Eastern Entertainment. Never thought Chaos Zero was gonna get a plush, but here we are. Really like the water drop that's all over his body to give the indication that this guy really is made out of water. I also really like the design for the nucleus on top of his head. He looks good. No real complaints, just good. A tier. Next is Emerald from Great Eastern Entertainment, and again, no real issues with this plush. His hands have that printed on design, but I think that makes him look more metallic and mechanical. His feet are big, clunky, but again, no real issue with the plush. No real issues, just a little flimsy. B tier. Next we have the Babylon Rogues from Great Eastern Entertainment, starting with Jet the Hawk. Of the three, Jet probably has the coolest design, and by that I mean his shoes. I really love the detail for these shoes. They're just sick. And the same material is used for his gloves as well. That mohawk's also really sick too. Wait, mohawk. Oh my god! A tier. Next is Wave the Swallow. She has the same material as Jet's shoes, although it's on her arms for her tattoos. She also has the same material on the bottom of her shoes. Otherwise, no real issues here either. I think her design looks good.
If only we could see her take wing.
Thank you, Guptil. A tier. And the last of the Babylon Rogues and last of the neutral parties is Storm the Albatross. The #1 Hatsune Miku lover, this dude is big, very firm looking plush, with a cool looking material used on the bottom of his shoes. Otherwise, his shoes look pretty generic. They look kind of like Eggman Nega or Metal Sonic 3.0. I also think the material on his arms looks the coolest. Jet has them too, but they're hardly noticeable compared to Storm. A tier. And now for the villains, starting with this plush of Dr. Ivo Robotnik, better known as Dr. Eggman. This Eggman plush was released by Sonic Project back in 2004 for the Sonic X line, and I gotta say, this plush of Eggman looks almost perfect. My only complaint are the materials for his buttons, which tend to chip away over time. Otherwise, I really love the ribbon that they used for his suit. I'm also gonna knock him down points for plastic eyes, but otherwise, again, he just looks really good. A tier for the Bad Doctor. Next is the Tomy Metal Sonic plush, and Metal Sonic plush, for whatever reason, go up in value over the years. Like, why? Is it because of... I don't know, I'm not sure why. Like with Vector, Metal Sonic has a pointing finger. I guess if he wants to ponder something deep in thought, unless he's actually doing that to rip off Sonic's iconic finger wagging, but I don't know what goes on in his head. The printed material here for his stomach and his back look okay, I guess. But then they go for embroidery on the shoes? Like, why? Pick a lane and stick to it, you know? I don't know, he looks good, it's just, be consistent. A tier. From Great Eastern Entertainment, here is Sage. Her head is huge. It's as big as her body. And yeah, other characters have this issue too, but not like Sage. Sage looks like the type of character where if someone were to ask her, "Hey, where do you work out?" she would respond with,
"The library."
Otherwise, the plush looks fine. I just wish they did more with the red part of her design. I do like her other eye underneath her hair. I think that looks pretty sick. I feel like the printed material doesn't really work to her benefit here. C tier. Here is a custom plush of Dr. Robotnik. This is the classic version of Dr. Robotnik, and a custom plush that I do not regret getting. His eyes are plush, they look plastic but they're not, and they have long paint strips going down to resemble his glasses. He also has movable arms for some reason. I'm not sure why, but they look good. Otherwise, he looks very round and Humpty Dumpty-like, but that's kind of the point with Robotnik. I kinda like him more than Eggman. S tier. Let's look at some of the badniks. Starting off, we have this Motobug, which can reverse into a Flicky. Personally, I think the Motobug plush looks way cooler than the Flicky. My only issue is that reversible plush are always really annoying to me. Trying to refill the other plush with all the fluffing of the original plush here, in this case being the Motobug, I just don't recommend it. Just keep them as Motobugs. The Motobugs are getting C tier. If they were plush on their own without the Flicky, they'd probably be a little higher. Here is a plush of Silver Sonic from Toy Network. Now, I don't know what the idea behind this plush was. Maybe it was supposed to be Silver the Hedgehog, but they heard the word silver and just made this thing? Or maybe it was supposed to be another form for Sonic that we didn't know about? Like I said though, that's why I consider him to be Silver Sonic from Sonic 2. But, I mean, his material looks cool, I guess, but that's all he's got going for him. Otherwise, he's got nothing. Are you supposed to be a Sonic recolor? A Sonic clone? Well, I know what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be an F! Here's a custom plush of Nightmare Fuel from Sonic R, everyone's favorite Sonic creepypasta back in the 2010s. It is the one and only Tails doll. As a plush, Tails doll looks really good. For some reason the jewel on top of his head is articulated, and I'm not sure why, but in general it looks like an actual Tails doll plush you can buy in stores, and I think he gets the job done. His eyes are made of plastic, sure, but it's a different kind of plastic from the regular plastic eyes. That material is seen on his nose instead. So I gotta knock him down 1 point for that, but otherwise he looks good. A tier. Here is the first member of the SSSSS, the Sonic Search and Smash Squad, that being Scratch. Scratch has articulation in his arms, and nowhere else. Looks exactly like he does in the show, and for some reason you can even remove his tail feathers with a button. That's a nice little attention to detail, specifically from the very first episode when Dr. Robotnik pulls one of Scratch's tail feathers to make Grounder. Next member of the SSSSS is Grounder, also with articulation in his arms. I also like the treads used for Grounder. Dare say he looks even better than Scratch. No real issues with Grounder, he looks exactly as he does in the show. Final member of the SSSSS, Coconuts. All three of these plush were made by a former buddy of mine. Coconuts here has articulation in his arms and in his legs. He looks exactly as he does in the show. Definitely the goofiest looking of the three, but still good. Next is Bokoon from the Sonic X line by Sonic Project. Kind of an interesting choice to make into a plush. Like, you made Bokoon, but not Deco or Boko? Like, I guess he was cute enough to be a marketable plushie, but okay. These little spots on the back of the rocket were because my plush never came with them. Regardless, the plush still looks good. Don't really care for the character, but again, plush looks good. B for Bokoon. Here's an old foe from Sonic's Rogues Gallery. Here is Fang the Sniper, or Knack the Weasel, or whatever his name is, from Great Eastern Entertainment. The plush looks, fine. Not a fan of how long his tail is and how it just protrudes out like that. Otherwise, his boots look okay, his belt and gloves look cool, and if who could say no to that cool cap? C. Next is Dan Green from Great Eastern Entertainment. I'm sorry, Mephiles the Dark. God. The plush, though, looks good. Yeah, the character himself is really bleh, but the design of the plush looks really nice. I really like the material they use for his body in particular. It just looks very alien and crystal-like, and I just love the stitches they use for his eyes, too. This is the one time where Mephiles the Dark isn't getting the blech treatment, and instead he's actually being respected for who he is. Sure, he's a lame villain still at the end of the day, but his plush looks good, even if he doesn't have a nose. And there goes his respect. No nose, no nose, no nose. Next are the Deadly Six. These guys are from Setsunoku, and all of them have definitely aged with time, but Zaz here has had it the worst. I really like the design for the plush, and I love how lanky he is, and you can even move his arms and legs. But over the years, the plush has definitely fallen apart. His spines are falling out, his spikes tend to fall off, his teeth fall off, which was even seen in a video once, and the fabric on his horns is chipping away. As such, this Zaz plush has definitely been retired, but I can't deny how important he was to the channel. Sorry, dude. D tier. Next is Zavok, or Zavok as they say in the games. I mean, why not call him Zavok? You know, like Havoc. Like with Zaz, they call him Zaz because, like, you know, pizzazz or something like that, you know? Why not do the same for Zavok? I don't know. Like the other Zeddy, he was made by Setsunoku and looks really good. The only issue I have with Zavok is that his spikes tend to fall off over time. Ever since I first got the plush, his spikes have been an issue of concern, always falling off the plush. Otherwise, though, his legs are articulated, kind of, and I like the foam that they use for his mouth and for his fingernails. His horns have this very nice faux leather material. Of the Zeddy, he's definitely my favorite in terms of designs, because wow. Zavok is landing solidly in the A tier. Next is the custom Zamon plush, who is actually missing a tail. That's his biggest flaw, aside from the aforementioned spikes that tend to fall off all willy-nilly. These plush are old, and unlike Zamon's other plush, I think this one looks a little better in terms of his face. He looks big, dumb, stupid, and hungry, which is perfect for a character like Zamon. C. Here is Zor. His head's a little too big for my liking, and he doesn't really have that hunched back like Zor should. He's looking a little optimistic today, at least more so than usual. But otherwise, the plush still looks, fine. And I also like the rose that he came with, too. C. Next is Xena. Fans of Plush Condolore have seen her quite a bit, and compared to the rest of the Zeddy, she is probably the best one here. Well, next to Zavok, of course. I really love the material they used for her hair. It's so silky and smooth. She has the same material for her horn like Zaz, but it kinda looks like it's made out of duct tape. I don't think it is, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. Otherwise, she also uses the paper material used for her face, and she has the same foam for her nails, and her toenails, which use a type of wood. A tier. Here's the custom plush of Master Zik, and unfortunately, Setsunoku didn't exactly understand the assignment. They didn't realize that he's just a ball with arms and legs, and they actually gave Zik a body. It makes him look unique, definitely a different approach to the plush, but I don't know, it doesn't look like Zik. It looks like him at first glance, but then you see his body and it's like, oh, yeah, okay. Definitely my least favorite of the custom Deadly Six plush. D. Though recently, the Deadly Six, or should I say the Deadly Five, have received brand new plush from Great Eastern Entertainment, and they look really good. Like, look at Zaz here, he looks slick. Like, this actually looks like you took Zaz right out of the game. Wow, he looks fantastic. Like, look at this dude. His hands are positioned in weird ways, but at least they're not stitched onto his body, and he can make as many JoJo poses as he wants. You know where you're going. Oh yeah, S tier. Next is Master Zik, where the plush actually does look like an angry jawbreaker, and the cane looks good being as big as he is. I also like how his mustache goes all the way down to his feet, even past the floor. And they actually remembered that he has a tail. That's a feature not even I knew about. A tier. Next is Zor. His plush is in this slouching position, which makes sense for the character. He's depressed, he's apathetic, it makes sense that he'd be slouched over like this. And unlike plush like Fang or Vector, you can actually sit the plush upward to make him sit up a little bit and make him look around as the residential spy. I also really love the detail on his rose too, it looks really nice. You can also lift up the hair over his other eye and... ugh, don't do that again. Go ahead, give me the A tier. Heck, give me F tier, I really don't care. A tier. Here is the Great Eastern Entertainment Zaman plush. These spikes won't ever fall off due to them being a printed on material. He can also give me a huge thumbs up too. Unlike the custom Zamam, he also has a tiny little tail. Looks like a giant chocolate eclair. And he's also very soft. B tier. While Xena was one of the best in the custom set, here she's actually my least favorite. I'm not liking her hand being stuck like this to her body, and her hair looks fine, although it's also stitched to her body. Like, everything on her is stitched to her body. Like, what is the deal with Xena here? Like, I don't know. C. Next is this plush of Orbot from Tomy. His head is huge and takes up his entire body. Then again, Orbot here is part of the big head line, so I suppose I shouldn't knock down so many points. The material on the plush is also fine, a lot of printed material used for his lower half of his body. He looks very, quickly put together. C. We also got a custom plush of Cubot, and unlike Orbot, Cubot here was actually made with love. A friend of mine made this plush, a guy who makes some things Sonic related. I love the material they used for the lower half of his body, I like his eyes and how judging they are. I think they should have made a Cubot plush in the first place to go with Orbot, but what do I know. Also gonna throw the Eggmobile in here for good measure. It's a nice little vehicle, and it can be a nice ride for many different characters. Both Cubot and the Egg Pod can land right in the A tier. Giving an honorable mention to these guys, who I also use in videos alongside Eggman's other badniks. They aren't official Sonic plush though, so I can't rank them. Those plush include the Candy Cadets, the Choppers, Sneezybot, the Boxobot, Rusty, Starman, Whirly, Mo, and the Shapebots. If I could rank them, I'd put them in B tier. B for badnik. Oh yeah, this thing exists. It's a Jazzware Sonic modified into Sonic.exe, and all I gotta say is... what have I done? This was modified back in 2011 for crying out loud, before Sonic EXE got his resurgence, and there were EXEs here, EXEs there, EXEs everywhere. Here at EXE, there at EXE, everywhere at EXE, 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 EIEIO! Oh yeah, the plush looks fine, but I wish we didn't have to ruin a perfectly good Sonic plush for this. What does he look like without these eyes anyway? Oh, they're actually stuck to his body. Oh, whoa. I think he looks better without the eyes. Like, whoa, okay. She's like, what have you done to me? Like, dang, okay. You get a D. And last but not least is Infinite. This is the Great Eastern Entertainment Infinite, who looks good. It's just the villain himself has a lot of missed potential. I like the material that they used here, the same material they used on characters like Charmy and Cream for the scar on the side of his mask. I think it looks really cool. Yeah, they use it for this side too, but the right side of his body has more of an impact. I really like the design for Infinite, his shoes look cool, his hair looks cool. He just really missed the villain potential mark. That's why we don't hear from him again, and he'll be thrown into the pit of obscure villains like Captain Whisker, Metal Sonic 3.0 and that stupid snake from Sonic Boom. A for Get a Clue, Infinite! We also got this custom Infinite plush, and, well, he looks fine, but I think the Great Eastern Entertainment one blows him out of the water. The custom Infinite plush also has bendable arms, but he's got a very scrawny frame. This was the plush we used before the custom one even existed. Looks good for a custom, but can't beat out the official one. See? But I'm not done yet. We got two other categories of plush that I want to touch upon before the end of the video. Plush from Crash Bandicoot and Freedom Planet, two series that were indeed inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog. We're going to start with Freedom Planet, starting with Sash Lilac. The plush here of Lilac looks really nice. Looks exactly as she does in game, also has articulation in her arms. Her hair is a little wild, flopping around like that, but otherwise she looks good. As for Sash Lilac, here is a custom of Carol T. Unlike Lilac, has no articulation in her body. Her tail is also a little floppy. Otherwise, the design looks fine. B. Last of the Freedom Planet trio is Lord Arctivus Brevin, probably one of the most bad villains in indie gaming, and probably one of the hardest indie game bosses of all time. Brevin here looks exactly as he does in game. You can also remove his cape for some reason via these little buttons. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but you do you. Overall though, Brevin looks exactly as he does in game, and I have no complaints about him. You know where you're going. Next are the plush from Crash Bandicoot. I feel like it was important to include Crash here because Crash and Sonic aren't too far apart from one another. When Crash was being developed, the code name for Crash was Sonic's Ass, because you were looking at Crash from a downward point of view. This plush of Crash was created by Play-by-Play and looks really good, especially for a grabber machine plush. Crash here looks really nice. I like the material they used on his shoes and the material used on his pants. It looks just like how Crash did in the early 2000s, specifically the Crash Twinsanity era, which is my personal favorite era of Crash Bandicoot, so that gets bonus points from me. A tier. Wow! Speaking of Crash Twinsanity, here is Dr. Neo Cortex. There are two things I don't like about the plush. One, his head is very, very floppy. This was kind of an issue I had when filming, because after the Wario Kart World Tour video, Cortex's neck just became very floppy, very top heavy, and that's because all the fluffing disappeared from his neck into his head and body. Yeah, it's my fault, sure, but the plush itself just has that cheap quality and it's kind of annoying. His eyebrows also tend to fall over his eyes when I'm not doing this for filming, so that's also another minor hiccup. But the plush itself looks good. Like, it's probably the best looking Cortex out of all of them. Hand is stitched onto his body, sure, and his feet were stitched together at one point, but overall, I think he looks fine. This is the best looking Cortex plush, sure, but Cortex plushies aren't exactly known for their quality, so C for Cortex. Here is a Resource plush of Komodo Moe, also popular in PlushCon lore. Komodo Moe may have plastic eyes, but I think the eyes actually add to his cute charm. Yeah, he will lose points for him, but I still think they look fine. And it surprises me that Resource, a company known primarily for high-quality action figures, actually made a plush, let alone one of this high quality. It used to be a keychain plush, actually. If you didn't tell me that beforehand, I probably wouldn't know. He just looks good, really good. Can't believe I'm saying this, but S tier. Last of the official plush from Crash Bandicoot is Dingodile by Play-by-Play? Dingodile here is modeled after his design in Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, and I gotta say, he looks perfect. I wish they gave him a little flamethrower, but otherwise, he looks exactly as he does in-game. He's also gotten pretty rare in recent times too, apparently. Get in there, you crazy crook! S tier. The rest of the plush in the Crash Bandicoot set are custom, starting with Dr. Nefarious Tropy, Master of Time, creator of the Time Twister Machine, and the poster boy of Missed Potential. But his plush, on the other hand, is a work of art. The amount of detail that went into making this plush is insane. All the shiny parts, bells, and whistles used to make Entropy look the way that he does is really, really impressive. And overall, I'd say he's one of the crown jewels of the custom plush. S tier. Next is Tiny Tiger, fairly alright looking custom plush, Tiny himself being a fan favorite in the series. Kinda surprising he never got an official plush, but here we are. He's very top heavy as seen here with teeny tiny little legs, but for a bruiser like Tiny, it makes sense. Overall, I think he looks good. Not Entropy good, but still good. B. We have this custom plush of Engine, who does not have a nose. But for a custom plush of Engine, he looks fine. Very round, very roly-poly-like, but that's exactly what I envisioned from an Engine plush. Not sure why his arms are coming out of his armpits, but C. Next are Uka Uka and Aku Aku, two plush that are just little slabs of cardboard with felt around them, and voila, there you go. I really like the design for Aku Aku as opposed to Uka Uka. I just think Aku Aku is just translated better as a plush. With Uka Uka, I honestly prefer his action figure a lot more. The plush of Aku Aku, on the other hand, actually looks good and fits in with the Uka Uka figure because now the two are around the same size. The original Aku figure was way too small in comparison to Uka Uka, but now the Aku Uka brothers can duel properly once again. A for Aku Aku. C. Speaking of masks, here are the Elementals. These plush were all made by a friend of mine. Starting with Rocco, looks pretty good, a little round, but still fine. Looks like he's gonna kick my butt. B tier. Next is Wawa, looks fairly solid, looks like how he does in-game. Looks like he's about to start yelling and cursing at me like a drill sergeant. A tier. Pyro looks, okay. I think of the four Elementals, his design is probably my least favorite. I just wish they did something more with the fire. He looks good, but compared to the other three, he's just okay. C tier. Lolo, on the other hand, looks absolutely perfect. Looks just like you took him out of Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex and made him into a plush. Looks like he's about to sing a song about all the state capitals. S tier. And last but definitely not least, Komodo Joe. The brother of Komodo Mo, never received a plush, never received an action figure, got to be a boss in Crash Team Racing for some reason. Go figure. Komodo Joe here, made by a friend of mine alongside the Elementals, looks good. Actually has a nice size difference compared to his brother Komodo Mo. As you can see here, the two brothers actually have a fairly reasonable size difference between one another. Joe has a more reptilian-like look with that big old snout of his, and those eerie looking eyes. But overall, I still say the Komodo brothers look fantastic, and I just wish they could make a proper appearance or actually get a good boss fight. B. So, this has been my entire Sonic plush collection ranked. I love making these ranking videos, and if you want me to make more of them in the future, let me know, leave a comment down below. There weren't many F-tier plush this time around as opposed to the previous videos because the companies that manufacture Sonic plush are usually of high quality. As for the Sonic series itself, it's actually done rather well for itself, especially with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Like, have you seen the characters for that game? Have you seen the gameplay for that game? It's like, wow, Mario Kart World, what are you doing? And I didn't mention Crash, because Crash needs to get back up on his feet after taking one too many TNT boxes and partnerships to the head. Thank you Activision, and thank you Microsoft. Are there any plush I'd like to see from the Sonic series going forward? Aside from more Badniks, the only other plush I'd like to see are a Great Eastern Entertainment plush of Zavik, considering the other members of the Deadly Six were like, let's get a plush and I tell the boss! Other than Zavik, the only other plush I'd like to see are Metal Sonic 3.0 and Johnny from Sonic Rush Adventure. Heck, why not go for some Freedom Fighters like Sally, Rotor, Antoine, or Bunny? Or heck, for an oddball choice, why not King Boom Boo? Well, I've run out of stuff to say again, which is very common at the end of these videos, so until next time, this is Luigi Fanquado 1 signing out, saying see you guys later, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Hey, look, it's Crack Bandicoot.